Long Beach, California was founded in 1927 by a man named George Michelson. And when he first came here and arrived from the boats, he said, "Boy, what a Long Beach." Guys, welcome to Long Beach, California. My name is Steve Zaragoza, and this is Dynamic Banter. The thing is Mike is on his tour. Is it a tour?
I think it's a tour.
It's like a surrounded in a couple of shows.
But in what city again? Okay.
Call that a tour? Shit. I toured my bathroom longer than that. He's in New York. He might be in New York right now.
Okay.
Right?
Can we call him?
Why not?
Hello?
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? You're on Dynamic Banter.
The podcast?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, hi.
Well, Kevin and I were just shooting the beginning of the show here, and we thought we were talking about where exactly you were right now, or where you are right now. And then we thought, instead of trying to figure it out on our own, why don't we just ask the boy himself?
That's a great thought process. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, where are you at right now, brother?
I'm in a prison in El Salvador.
Now we know.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm on hard times. I've been tweeting a lot, and you can't.
Oh, man, I feel like we're not going to get you out of there, buddy.
Come on.
Trust me, man. I would love to. I think...
Put somebody on, you tell them that I'm a famous podcaster and that I should be free.
I should just tell them you're Joe Rogan and they'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the guard on. Is that okay?
Perfect. Let me talk to one of the guards.
Hola.
This is crazy. Hola, mucho gusto, señor. ¿Cómo está usted?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien. ¿Y cómo se llama, señor? Excuse me?
I'm going to put my mic back on your phone.
Do you speak any English, sir?
Hey, what's up? It's me again.
Okay.
Did you make any headway with the guard?
Definitely not. There's a language barrier for sure, so there might be a bit of an issue getting through there in the future.
Shit.
But we're going to do the best we can. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the UN.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Mike. Love you, buddy.
Bye.
Sit tight. Well, we're never going to see him again, so welcome to my show, Dynamic Banter.
Dynamic Banter! Shut up! Start the show!
So this is what we're doing. So today, I'm just going to take you around Long Beach. You know, I've only lived here since November, so I can't show you everything. But I'll show you some cool shit, and we'll get some nice, visuals and shit. And let's just have a good time. It's going to be a weird episode of the show for sure. But there's a fucking billion of these things, and they're all the fucking same. So let's say, hey, variety is spice of life, mama. So let's see what we got out here, okay? You don't mind if I smoke, do you? KCAL 9 Action News. We're out here in Long Beach, California. There's been 7,000 dead bodies found right here on the water. Let's go take a look. It is crazy, though, because there's a non-specific amount of distance that I live from this for obvious reasons. But there's all of these, it's the ocean. This is the ocean. Ocean, Dynamic Banter, ocean. And, I know some of y'all ain't never seen this shit. Never seen a never been outside. You fucking nerds. But the ocean, this is the ocean. And the ocean is dangerous as fuck. And there's all sorts of shit that happens out there that is a nightmare. And under it, too, inside there. You can't see it, but there's just nightmare shit happening all day in here. And out even further, there might even be real scarier nightmare shit, like people being murdered and thrown off of boats. And guess what? Those bodies, they end up on the shore sometimes. And I would be lying if I said that while I have been living here since November, and it's almost the end of April now. It's the end of April now. There has been 3 human bodies. I haven't seen them, but I'm like, whoa. And there was animals. There was a whale a little bit further than Long Beach in Huntington. Ding, ding, ding. And then over here, there was a baby whale. Oh no. What's this on my shoulder? What is that? It fell from the sky? Can you get it for me? What is it? Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I got something for this. What is this? This fell from the sky?
Yes, dude.
Whoa. That's crazy. I know what this is. Yeah, a baby whale was stuck in like a harbor. And there was footage of it, and it's real sad, and it was fucked up. But they couldn't get it out of the harbor. They like kept trying to like scare it out and whatever, and it just like could not, and so it died. And then I read this other thing on Reddit. What is this? I read this thing on Reddit. I don't know what this is at all. So over down this way, someone found a dead dolphin. And then, was like crazy. That was crazy. And then walked that way and then walked back. And they saw it again, but this time it was decapitated. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What is that? Some crazy maniac shit? Apparently, the ocean, like, marine science, medical marine people, dolphins, animal people, there's an aquarium over here. So there's like a team of like forensic ocean people, scientists that actually were performing the like autopsy on the beach of what killed it. And that's why they cut off its head, but they left it there because they're like, there's just, we just do it right here, But imagine being like a kid and seeing like a fucking decapitated dolphin. That's wild. Anyway, so that happened also. And even crazier, last weekend, okay, I'm talking Friday, they found a human skull. Dude, a human skull. Do you see where those lifeguard towers are? Like there's a structure.
Yes.
And then there's lifeguard towers beyond the structure.
Yep.
It's like the first lifeguard tower. That's where they found the human skull.
Where though? Like
on the sand. And that's the even more bizarre part. And it actually kind of like made me spiral a little bit on the weekend because I was like, most people are probably like, we will let the police handle it and then never think about it again, maybe. So they actually, they quarantined off like the area, like they put up red tape and shit. But like, not even like 60 feet from that, there's like people laughing and having merriment. And I'm like, whatever, dog, the world's gonna keep spinning. But anyway, it's right next to a parking lot. So the skull was found like 10 feet away from the sidewalk on the sand. And it's like, well, the ocean didn't wash that shit up because it wouldn't have gotten all the way up to the fucking curb. And also, another thing we kept asking ourselves all weekend, because I wouldn't let this go, dude. Because I was like, this can't just be like, okay, what are the options? The options are someone was decapitated at sea and their head was dumped and then a natural decomposition occurred to which it then takes forever. Maybe fishes ate at it and whatever. Maybe it got ate up. which takes forever, and then eventually it washed on the beach, but then somehow made its way like to the curb. So there's a possible, but however unlikely answer. And then the second thing I thought of was, well, what if we got some crazy? What if this is like some serial killer shit? Like somebody fucking killed a guy, cut his head off, boiled off the skin, made him into a skull, and then there it is. And then like drops it off like a little like a Batman villain, like for Batman to come like find clues and shit. But that literally happened days ago, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And we were like, some other shit we were thinking about was like, but bones don't float, they sink. Think about that. All right. Well, so anyway, we figured to keep in the spirit of the show. We thought that even though we are out here in Long Beach and we're doing an unorthodox episode of Dynamic Banter, we figured, hey, why not even still read some history roads for once, brother? Well, guys, here we are at Gaucho Beach. It's a beautiful little restaurant and cafe. They have these delicious drinks, and they sell these empanadas. And one time, there was not so great experience with the empanadas, but nothing crazy. Like no one got hurt, and it was fine. But anyway, what I was thinking was like, there's a lot of children around. And the second thing I was thinking was, let's read a history road. Because there's a bunch of them here. Poop story. Oh, another poop story road. This might be better without Mike here. Oh, shit. There's a picture of Mike in the email. So we'll see. We'll see if we won't have Mike around to, like, refute.
There's a lot going on. Take your time.
Stephen Ramis sent us in, a poop story road from a blubbering fanboy, it says. What does this mean? Let's check it out. My name is Stephen Ramis. Do not say my social security number and mother's maiden name. I'm a 26 horn honk lil BB boy from the suburbs of Milwaukee. I've never even been. That's wonderful. I have been a long time listener / follower since before the Cloverfields days, and I have a little history road, trademark, for you boys that I have been wanting to send for years, as well as an apology to Mike and Drew's wife, Melanie. Who the fuck is Drew?
Drew Lynch, probably.
Oh, okay. I have not only the most mundane poop story from the annals of my personal history, but I would like to also redeem myself from when I met Mike at the Drew Lynch show at the Pabst Theater, as in Blue Ribbons. As I was a blubbering little fanboy, and I'm embarrassed, but Mike handled it like a champ. Like the champ he is, as I know, you guys aren't celebrities. Oh, all right. But like, you certainly developed my sense of humor into what it is today. I didn't do that on purpose. I mean, sorry, I think. Also, Drew really put Melanie on the picture of the tour. Who the fuck is Melanie? Drew should really put Melanie on the picture of the tour. I felt like a real ass, not realizing that she was the one in the group you were talking to when my girlfriend and I came up to you. So I apologize. I'm not usually that big of an idiot, but it happens occasionally, and I swear I'm much more interesting than I probably seemed. Hopefully one day I can meet Steve as well and redeem myself. Huge thanks for taking a picture of me with me, though. This is like an email for Mike, I feel like. Anyways, the real meat and potatoes of this long-winded history road is back from the 15th year of my life, back when I finally went on a trip back to my birthplace with my family. They're like, there's parts of this that are like highlighted, but for no reason. Philadelphia, where I first which I hadn't been back to since I was about one horn honk of age. Fast forward to one day when we were just sightseeing, and my typical bubble guts kicked in. At this point in my life, I had the most diabolical digestive system, ranging from a week without going and then dropping a football into the porcelain throne. Food's good? Food's good today, guys? To having to immediately machine gun fire my nuggets into the abyss. I wish I could press fart buttons right now. This one happened to be the former. We were passing the busiest downtown McDonald's I've ever seen, but it seemed to be the only place my adolescent brain knew would have a usable toilet. So I ushered my entire group of 6 or 8 people, that's a difference, into the restaurant, including a very large stroller with a baby. And I went to the single-user restroom, which was not my expectation, where I proceeded to take one of my infamous monster's turds. Where I proceeded to take one of my infamous monster turds, clogging this poor, weak toilet that had no water pressure. And after figuring out how to wipe and completely ruin anyone's chances of using this bathroom until someone fixed it, I washed up and exited, only to my dismay, as a line of 5 or so people had formed at the door while I was using it, and they did not look like the understanding type. So I very quickly went to my family and told them that we need to go now, as there is going to definitely be a major problem. We rush out unscathed, and my mind can only imagine the horrors that the next person in line felt as their hopes of relieving themselves melted away from the absolute disaster my asshole left behind. Sorry for the length of this email. I know Steve hates reading. Okay. So I'll end it here, but hopefully I just hate reading stuff that's not good. But that doesn't mean that I hated reading this. I'm just saying, sometimes shit ain't good. Hopefully it was interesting. Thank you both for being just a couple of funny guys making people laugh, but also extremely nice gentlemen who care about the fans. With peace and love, Steven. And here, can you see that? There's the picture of Mike and this guy. Who, and I think we've all been there where someone, you use the toilet after someone's definitely used the toilet. And you're like, well, whoever was in there before me made a big mistake. And now I have to be a part of this. And I understand that that's a big mess and a big bad time. And there's really nothing you do about it, Like we as humans, we have to accept that our digestive systems are all different. And sometimes you're going to make a major poop situation in a public place. And then other people have to come and enjoy that, even though you didn't, there was no agreement to enjoy it together. And then other people enjoy it after you, and that's just life.
I feel like what he went through is pretty tame. It's not too bad.
Pretty tame, yeah. Pretty tame. But but I understand that to some people, that feeling of absolutely leaving an embarrassingly unavoidable poop fiasco, a situation in the restroom, can make you feel like that's the craziest thing. And then seeing a line of people, you're like, well, once the next guy goes in, you are no longer responsible for it. It's that guy's problem now.
That's right.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag We could pick up that trash and put it into a trash, but we don't have time. This message comes from DH. Ooh, that's mysterious. Oh, their name is Dan. And they say the subject is a priest, snowboarding, and poop. I love these fucking poop stories. My name is Dan, and you boys are my favorite boys, even Kevin. My day started on a high. We'd gone on a team building ski trip for the day. Where the fuck you work, Microsoft? What kind of birds are those?
I don't know.
They're like they don't look like seagulls.
No, they're not. They got black.
Num num. I hadn't been snowboarding in years, and the slopes really took it out of me. So I hit the lodge and warmed up with some coffee before heading home. A bunch of us had traveled up together, so we all piled into my friend's car and started the long trek home. About 15 minutes in, my tummy started rumbly, and immediately I thought, uh-oh. So I asked my friend who was driving if she knew if there was a gas station around, or a gas station. She replied that there's a town up ahead and she'll pick up the pace. We made it to the gas station, and by this time I was white-knuckling it. Legs crossed and unable to form full sentences. Wow, that's rough. We pulled in, and it was boarded up. Apparently closed for years. Oh man, that's such a fucked up situation. We'll be right back. Oh man. My mind raced. There had to be somewhere. At this point, I had flop sweats, drenching my clothes, and my butt clenched so hard that I was going to pull a muscle.
Dude, what is that gonna sound like?
My mind raised, was drenched, and it's gonna pull a muscle, and we drove by. I noticed a lone farmhouse. I said, fuck it, pull in there. I'll ask to use their bathroom. Would you do that?
No. Or, I mean, if I couldn't form sentences...
And if you had to go so bad that you were like, rather than go in the woods and then what, use like leaves or something? I'll ask to use their bathroom. Before the car was even stopped, I opened the door and waddled as fast as I could go. As I approached the house, I noticed it was a 2-door situation, so I slammed through the first door into a small enclosed porch area and proceeded to knock. A very old lady slowly answered the door, and I blurted out, "Please, your bathroom!" She understood immediately, moved out of the way, and gestured down the narrow corridor of a very small house. I walked through the kitchen, where her even older husband was, as well as an impossibly old priest in full wardrobe, sat at the table playing cards. Dude, this is like a fucking horror movie. I couldn't stop to process what I was seeing and proceeded into the bathroom, literally feet away from where they sat. Oh no, so the bathroom's like right there. And they're probably like not listening to music or anything. Old people never have like music on. They're always like sitting in dead silence. I slammed the door and unleashed hell on their small farmhouse toilet. I was in there maybe 3 to 5 minutes tops, but it felt like an eternity. There was no question that they heard and could smell everything. Meanwhile, outside, my friends, not knowing there was a 2-door situation, assumed I'd burst directly into the house and were thinking I may have been shot on sight for trespassing and assumed I was dead. I wiped, flushed, and exited the bathroom, hoping that I hadn't caused irreparable damage to their plumbing system. You definitely did something to their plumbing that they had not had. Although old people are capable of some pretty intense poopery.
How do you know of this?
Well, I'm sure I've mentioned this at some point on something, but I remember when my grandma was still alive. Rest in hell, you bitch. She was a bad grandma. She's in hell, you shithead. And she hurt my poor mommy. And nobody hurt Stella. Right? So, so I would go there as like a kid. My mom would leave me there, you know, she would watch me for school and some shit. Or she watched me while she went to school or worked or something. And I would go into her bathroom, into grandma's bathroom, and I would open the toilet and there would be fucking hell, nightmare in the toilet. Like shit you couldn't comprehend. Stuff that you can't imagine is produced by a human. And so, you know, I mean, maybe that doesn't necessarily mean like plumbing problem type stuff, but it can't be as solid and firm as it was in the old days, Granny. I'll tell you that much. Meanwhile, outside, my friends not knowing it, blah, 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 they thought I was killed. I quickly thanked them before running back to the car, telling my friend, drive, just go, go, go. She slammed on the gas and back onto the highway as we all explained back and forth what had happened. I live to tell the tale, but I can't say if those poor bastards did. At least there was a priest present to cleanse the space of my demons. Wow, Dan, that's wild. That's crazy, because, like, I would have, like, you know, I probably would have said something. I probably would have been like, thank you, and... you know, for me, though, like, I'm one of those people that would, like, absolutely end up having a too long conversation with them, because I just am so curious about, like, you know, who's the priest, you know, like, what's this guy's deal? And, like, what's going on here? What are you guys up to tonight? You know, like, this is a random chance happening. You know, people don't just, like, burst into strangers' homes anymore for something so, chill as, like, having to use their toilet or something. But, I mean, I guess if you live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, it must be scary. But, yeah, but it also must be scary as shit to, like, have people even knock on your door. Because imagine from their perspective, they're like, I don't know who the fuck this is. This guy could be like, here to take our precious jewels, our family heirlooms. They've come to take the golden elephant that we had, and grandfather took it from the Indians. You know, but hey, man, nature calls sometimes. And the worst story, wow, look at that. There's a lizard in that basket. Look at the tail hanging off. Dude, get that. That's wild, man. Long Beach is crazy. If he hadn't gone into that house, like, that's a fun story. Like, you know, you share with your friends after that. But if he had to, like, shit in the, like, woods and, like, you know, the friends are around for that, that's like a worse story. It's grosser, it's scarier, it's sadder, and it's like grounds for, like, never letting that person live it down type stuff. But, you know, toilet problems are a thing, man. They're a thing. But one day they'll be a thing of the past. Hey guys, this special episode of Dynamic Banter that takes place in Long Beach, California is brought to you by Squarespace. Oh, we love the Squarespace. We want to take a spaceship and fly away. And we know many people with Squarespace websites in our lives. The tools are very easy to use. I'm talking nothing to install, nothing to update. It just works. Okay? And you don't even need a computer to use it. You could do it on your dang mobile phone. We're talking templates, places to have a shop, a photo gallery, a video gallery, a links area. You can set up your own emailing list that bursts out emails to people that sign up on your website. And all those things are available through squarespace.com. And as a matter of fact, Mike Falzone, as you know, I don't know if you heard about this. Mike Falzone has a Squarespace website, MikeFalzone.com, so you can check that website out, look at how fancy and rad it is, and then be like, maybe me, and I'm like, yeah, dog, that's the word on the street. So guys, go to squarespace.com/banter for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BANTER and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/banter. And then you get that free trial and try it out. When you want to launch your website, use that offer code BANTER and you will get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Go check it out and do it and be good and love and find love in your life. And now back to the show. Okay, Peter Dornbos, Parker Dornbos. Dornbos? Look at this. Tell me that's not Dornbos.
What the hell?
Parker Dornbos is my favorite Harry Potter character. Has a history road that says the funniest word I've ever heard, and I'm a linguist. Hold on. Parker Dornbos is a linguist. This is like a Dr. Seuss story. And you're a linguist named Peter Parker Dornbos? Dornbos. You Dornbos. You fucking Dornbos. Hey, you two goofy boys. It's your longtime fan, Parker. What's up, Parker? Dornbos. I'm a linguistics student in Michigan, and I love two things. Listening to dynamic banter and funny words. Like Dornbos. Dornbos. Imagine my excitement when I was watching this compilation of motor racing clips and heard the funniest word I've ever heard. See if you can guess what it is. And it's a link here. All right. It's a YouTube video.
Amberlynn Wrexham! Amberlynn has wrecked Casey Kepley Jr. on the backstretch. She's overheating. He's putting in reverse.
Not done.
The demo derby is scheduled for the end of the night, but folks, it's right now in the sportsman division. One of your top competitors, Amberlynn, is in a slobberknockle with Casey Kepley.
Okay, all right. A slobberknockle? Slobberknockle. Schlobberknockle. Well, you know, when I hit that guy with my car, I knew I was in a schlobberknockle. Love you boys. Thanks for being my favorite thing on a Friday. Yeah, boy, Parker Dornbos. Thanks, Parker. That's a good one. I mean, I think I'm more stuck on Dornbos. Long Beach. Ren Fournier says, I once rejected a girl by saying, hey, boy Kev and boy Steve.
Yeah.
It's one of the Canadians you like. Tiny bicep. Oh! Here to tell you about one time I was an awful person by accident. Something you should know about me is that I had a terrible chihuahua anxiety. I shook like a leaf and barked at everybody. It influenced every interaction, especially romantic ones. Don't do that. In middle school, I had just come out as transgender to a supportive community of people. Congratulations. But I hadn't physically transitioned, so I still had a blue bob haircut and wore the same black vest, white t-shirt, lime green fedora, and dark green sweatpants every single day. What an outfit. One day, this girl from a grade above me approaches me. I knew her briefly because she was friends with my best friend. However, she terrified me because she was a girl. Also, she was older than me and did drugs and stuff. She was always pretty cool. She was always with another girl her same age, and they would occasionally sit with us outside of the band room. Nerd. She said to me, hey, if I had a crush on you, what would you think about that? Oh, damn, dude. That's it. You're in. When that happens, you're in. That's the universal sign for that. They're trying to say it. And because you haven't said it. My world froze. My vision looks like I've been shot down to 1 HP. I'm 14 with self-esteem as high up as a body in a graveyard. Crawling in my own skin with gender dysphoria. The words rush out of me before I even think them. Oh, I wouldn't like you, but I might like your friend or something. Oh, you idiot, moron, fucker. You fucking blew it, you fucking idiot. Her face falls. Oh, okay. And we both walk away. Holy shit, you fucking blew it. Was this the worst thing I've ever said to somebody? Yeah, probably. But it's also my most embarrassing memory, besides the time my used menstrual pad fell out of my pants and I tried to discreetly slide it back in place, but one girl watched the whole ordeal from across the gym. If you like this story, don't forget to upvote and shout out too, and then that's the end of that email. Wow. Look at this, please. For when you want to lay down but also go somewhere at the same time. All right, Ren. Well, that was crazy, and but the things that change that story are: were you like into that person at all? Because if you weren't, then there are worse ways to let them down, for sure. But if you were into that person, you fucking blew it, you idiot. Carpenter 11. It says, Are you a robot? Are you clones and you're the 11th one? And you're like, I got something to say. My AI brain made a thought I needed to ask dynamic banter. Do clones have AI brain? Carpenter says, you're only fan in Kuwait, I think. Carpenter says, hello, Steve and Kevin or Mike. On this unorthodox episode, my name is Ahmed from Kuwait, and I believe I'm the only Kuwaiti fan. ? Kuwaiti. Kuwaishi? Yeah. Kuwaishi? What are you feeling like tonight, honey? Kuwaishi? Choose your adventure. Oh, we get to choose. This is great. We get to choose. They gave us choices. This is crazy. Number 1, and there's all these options. This is great. What a great way to start Kuwait. Okay, let's choose our adventure then. Number 1, short and quick. Thank you. Kinda gay. Number 2, my history road. On the money. And number 3, a long thank you. Well, I guess we'll probably just read all 3, huh? That's what we gotta do, right? Come on. All right, number 1, thank you for all the smiles, farts, and honks. Oh, that's it. Great. That was really short. Fantastic. Quick thank you. Number 2, in my efforts to expand your fan base here in Kuwait, I tried to introduce you to my nephews who don't usually listen to a podcast, let alone this underground unique podcast. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, nice, buddy. Okay? Kuwaiti? They don't even listen to me. He says. They listen to a podcast. They keep staring at their phones when talking to me. Damn, that's fucked. That's just the future now. Sorry. Shouldn't have given your babies iPads, you know? Because then maybe they'd want to pay attention to you now. I don't know, maybe give them an iPad a little bit and then talk to them without an iPad. They're telling the only way you get your fucking iPad back is if you fucking talk to me. They keep staring at their phones when talking to me. I'm getting sidetracked. Anywho, I played Ransom I played Random on my podcast playlist, and the Real Farts episode played. There's a Real Farts episode. I mean, sure, it tracks that there's a Real Farts episode, but I don't know what it is. And they kept laughing at me for listening to this. Oh, at you. But I think secretly they were laughing at the farts, but they won't admit it. Okay, now we're making progress. So don't you see now that you have a way to get in to find, because you gotta find common ground with these little pipsqueaks, these ragamuffins, dude. Like, you gotta find common ground with these little fuckers. And if they like farts, then guess what? It's time to get a fart machine and start having serious conversations with them with a fart sound after your sentence, and then keep a straight face and have fun be a funkle, all right? What are these, your brothers? Nephews. Be the funkle. Be the funkle! God damn. At least now they know Dynamic Banter. Hell yeah. And the second attempt was with the youngest nephew, 12 years old. I played like 10 seconds of an episode, and you and Mike started talking about cum. So I just said never mind, and he played dumb and asked, what does cum mean? Or maybe he actually didn't know. I played the Strokes and kept driving. No pun intended. Okay. Well, you didn't have to say no pun intended. You just said pun intended, and we would be like, whoa, nice pun. And number 3, I just want to say thank you all for the times you made me smile during good and bad times since Source Zip. What? You can't say SourceFed? That's not a bad word. I love SourceFed because of you, Steve, so thank you for ruining my sense of comedy or fixing it. Yeah, you got it right the first time. But I feel like it's become a part of me, which means in some sense, you are a part of me. Okay. The second I knew about your Patreon, I subscribed. That's a rock and roll boy. Yeah, dude. There we go. And even if I don't watch all the content in there, a lot of work is being put into that, okay? A lot of guys working on that. It's fun shit, okay? You like it. It's more of this, but it's like more of it. I plan to watch them all someday in order. Okay, well, there you go. But I feel like I'm buying you a cup of coffee once every month. So if you're drinking coffee now, you're welcome. Hey, I am. And Kevin. So, and thank you again, and you're welcome again. And thank you again. And I hope I didn't make too many grammar mistakes. And I know that I use a lot of periods. Much love and respect. I prefer the period over the bad grammar. Over bad punctuation. Reading bad punctuation is really hard. But it's funny, Ahmed, feel free to ask anything about Kuwait. No, we don't ride camels to work. Well, I wasn't going to ask that. That's racist, I think. Or at least a stereotype. All right, well, thank you, dude. That was a really great History Road. It's so awesome when we hear from you folks about, how you've been listening since we were doing SourceFed or some shit, because that's like a long time ago. And we said kind of a little bit in a few episodes ago about how much we appreciate you guys that have been hanging out of the caboose for so many years and still like the dumb shit we do. I think that's really sweet and validating and great. And I love the idea of you buying me a cup of coffee every month, because I would love to sit down and have coffee with some of you. But the Patreon does kind of feel like that too. Cause I don't know if I've been hopping into the chat in there more often and hitting you guys up and being like, hey, what's up? I'm horny. And then you guys are like, what up? Where's the private room at? And I send you a link and you come, you guys watch me jack off. I don't see you, you see me. And I just love it that way. I like it that way. It makes it feel so much better when I come. Well, guys, I really hope that you enjoy this unorthodox episode of Dynamic Banter. I'm sorry it's so windy. Does that sound bad for sound? Okay, thank you for joining us on Dynamic Banter. I really appreciate you all. We hope that you enjoyed the show. See you next time. Bye.